Good afternoon, everybody. How is it going? This is Chris Marks here. Useless Threats, Episode 3. We are on Episode 3. Man, it feels good to be on Episode 3. I am just sitting here today. I'm having my coffee. It's about 12:45 here. I got the day off. It's weird. It's really weird for me because I feel like I don't know what to do with myself. I have no idea. I have no idea what to do with myself because normally I'm just so worried and stressed out about dealing with what's coming up in my life that when I have to actually sit down and like deal with my own personal self, I just find myself going, what the fuck is this? Like, what the fuck am I supposed to do? So I watched a little bit of How I Met Your Mother. I've seen it a billion times, but it still brings, joy to me. It's a good time. And I'm just chilling. I'm chilling. I cleaned up my little studio here, which was really cool. It's looking really nice now. I got a new candle going on, man, from Bath and Body Works. I went with the fiance over the weekend. Got this strawberry rhubarb marmalade candle, man. It smells good, man. It smells like straight southern strawberry fields. It is beautiful. Oh, man. It is a good day, people. It is a great day. Yesterday, I talked with a good friend of mine, Kris Grahn. As I promised in the last episode, we are using real names now. So I actually reveal in the last episode, too. In this episode, you're about to hear in this episode my real name, and Chris kind of does it for me, but you know what, it's okay. I don't care. I'll just announce myself now as Chris Marks, aka Jake Peary. My name is Jake Peary. It is good to meet you, folks. It is great to meet you. And you know what, we reveal that I am currently volunteering down here for the Thirsty Planet Brewery. It is great. I reveal the name Buckethead, so we'll go ahead and just say it. I had originally worried about this show. I had originally named the show Useless Threats because I was very angry, and I'm typically I'm a passive-aggressive person. I get angry in my own head and in my own time, but I don't typically like to let it show. I typically like to be the nice guy, and it makes it so I become very apathetic. But again, I try not to show it. But in my head, that's usually the way it goes. It might have to do also with the fact that my fiance is more of the pessimist of the two of us. I try and be the more uplifting one where she's much more realistic. But I love her for it. That's some of our favorite types of writing. I hope she becomes the writer that I know that she could be. She's phenomenal. She's very modest about everything that she does, but she's going to have a novel come out in a few years, and it's just going to blow people's minds. It really is. She is fantastic. If you read that paragraph that is on the website, she wrote that. And you're locked in from the first few words, just like, Jesus. It's just great. I don't know how it comes out of her head. I admire her so much for so many reasons, but especially because her intelligence is just beyond me. It's amazing. And her intellectual skills are just, they're unfathomable. She is just amazing. She's an amazing person. She really is. Anyway, getting back to Kris Grahn, good buddy of mine. I was in a band with him a little while back. We put out an EP. We're called Feeble Tiger. Unfortunately, before we were able to play any shows, he went and fucked himself on the foot. Him being the extreme person that I've always grown to love, I've always loved him for it. He's always been someone who always pushed the limits. And Hannah and I knew him back in high school too. We all grew up together. We were in this, him and I used to do stuff like we go and jump off roofs and stuff together, man, among all the other little crazy things we're doing that we can mention in the next interview, because it's only interview. This is part one of the interview. We got part two. The reason it's part one is because what you're about to hear is the first ever Skype interview we've done. And it went great. If you ask me, it went great. The sound quality was actually much better than I thought it would be. And it was awesome, but he's going to try and be here in a few weeks. And if not, we'll get it done later on down the line. We got busy schedules. It's hard to, make everything work. But we're thinking in a few weeks he's going to be up here and we're going to do it again. And then you're going to see the real Kris Grahn. Because this episode, we had a great time. We had a blast. But he was with his family. And, everybody's kind of, you kind of act more polite around your family. At least I do. There's my family can definitely be downright dirty and raunchy. They're funny as hell, but they're very polite and well well-rounded, nice people. That I mean, they're very I don't know what's a good way of putting that. When they're in the public's eye, they are very like, even though we're ourselves, we are very we're very nice and polite. That's a good way of putting it. We want on only us to have a good time, everybody around us to have a good time. We don't want to make anything, awkward. So going with that, we have the part 2 coming up in the next few weeks, where you'll get to really get to know Kris. And he is one crazy son of a bitch. That's the best way of putting it, man. He is awesome. Love the guy. Fantastic performer in general. He has just got that persona that when he lets it out, man, you can't do anything but watch. It's amazing. Amazing piano player. He is all self-taught. I watched him start while I was actually still up in Illinois, and I came back down, and he was like showing me some stuff, and he was like, yeah, it's okay. And he's another person who's very modest. I don't know if I said that before, but he's very modest. And I was like, no, man, that's really freaking good. I'm up here doing like jazz piano and stuff. I'm listening to him. I'm like, dude, he freaking taught himself this. Incredible. If you want to go and listen to some of it, go to the Feeble Tiger webpage. I think it's, I don't remember what it is. It's been a little bit. But type in Feeble Tiger in Austin, Texas, and you'll see it. It'll come up. We were a 3-piece band. We did like some pop rock, piano, rock, blues style stuff. And we did an EP. It was the first EP I ever mastered myself. Honestly, I'm always hard on myself and say that I'm not sure how much I liked how the final mixing came out. I thought it was a little too heavy on the treble, but all in all, it was a good EP. I mean, everybody who's listened to it is like, man, this is really good. We really enjoy this. So I wish we could have done more with it, but that's okay. I am sure there will be multiple projects more that we do together down the line. So it's all good. It was just fun. We had a fun time with it. Anyway, so in a few minutes we're gonna get to Kris Grahn and the interview with him over Skype. We had a fun time talking. It was just kind of us catching up. We hadn't gotten to talking a little bit since he had moved back to Spring, Texas, and we had a good time. I look forward to the next interview coming up with that. And I look forward to how honest this podcast has become. Because at first, like I said, I didn't know where this was going. I had the last episode, I made the realization of where I wanted it to go. And I guess what I've described what I want it to end up being is I want it to be a conversation getting to know people that is funny, but I also want to combine it with like drunk history from Comedy Central. If you've ever seen that show, and it's a great show because I'm in the craft beer scene now, and I still like to say I'm in the music scene. I don't know how much truth there is to that. But a lot of the people who I'm going to be interviewing are going to be craft beer people and people in the music scene. And I like starting each episode out with either, some whiskey or some, craft beer happening or whatever alcohol they choose. And typically, by the time we do the interview, we've already had a little bit to drink. So I like having intellectual discussions while we're kind of schnockered. That's a good way of doing it. And so in I think the greatness to that is not only do you get to know a person and get to know like mostly regular people, right? Like this is like a lot of like I mentioned in this next episode, I take a lot of influence from Mark Maron. I love that guy. He is an amazing comedian, actor, podcaster, what have you. He's an awesome person. I would love to meet him one day. And I hope he doesn't think I'm ripping off his show because I just take a lot of inspiration from it. I do. But mine, I want to be a lot more about meeting people who are on my level. People who are around my age, in their mid-20s, maybe early 30s, or maybe we can go beyond that, whatever. How they're doing, how they're dealing with the start to their lives. Because I believe nowadays that this time, from which I'm speaking, around the age of 23 to like 35, that is only the start to your life, man. And it's basically gotten to a point now where we're starting later and later in life. So I'm still in the struggle of trying to figure out what the hell my career is going to be. I'm still just sitting there doing that, and I want to talk to other people who are in that same situation. it's just really interesting, especially with our generation, that we are sitting here and we are doing things more based on what makes us happy rather than what makes money. And that's really interesting to be a part of and watch, because before it used to be, the whole tradition was, you go and you get a job and you have a family and you have kids and you just do it all over and over again. We're like, rabbits reproducing all over the place. Now it's more like, I think the job market being what it is and the economy being what it is has kind of forced people to be kind of like, well, we're never going to make the same amount of money as our parents, so why are we even trying? Let's do what makes us happy. And it's really interesting to watch. So I want to talk to other people who are in this position, what they're doing, what they're thinking their future is going to be, and just talking about things in general while getting drunk. And it's quite fun. Actually, this last episode, the episode you're about to hear, was the first episode that I had done to where I had been more sober, and it was fun. But I do like the drinking aspect of it. We're not talking about people getting blackout drunk here. If they wanted to, I guess, whatever. But we're just having a few drinks and, having some casual conversation. I feel like I'm forgetting to say something, but without further ado, I guess I'll just end on saying, go to the uselessthreats.com page. Go to the website. You can get all the episodes on there right now. There's only 3. There's a newsletter button on the front that will subscribe you via MailChimp. And it will send out an email to you every time a new episode's coming up, as well as any news. Maybe I'll be going and doing some live interviews, anything coming up, going around. So, jump on that. Hey man, you want to be some of my first few, people joining up on the newsletter? Please do. I'm sure that we get much more active the longer this goes. I have 3 people booked this week to interview. I told y'all last week that I am going to make this a weekly thing. It's going to come out on Wednesdays, and I'm going to keep that promise. So without further ado, here's the interview with Kris Grahn. I'll talk to you next week.
Have you had a few beers already?
I mean, technically yes, but they were light ones. So I gotta show you these when you get here. You ever had a Goza before?
A Goza? Is it like is it like a Mexican beer, or is it like Japanese? I've heard that name.
I don't know I think the actual style is actually like German.
That's like a style.
But,
okay.
but it would resemble a Mexican style like lager. It's like it's a soured beer that's salted, and so
Okay.
it's like, dude, it's like the perfect thing that you ever want to drink on a beach, and it's freaking awesome. So that's really cool. Yell as loud as you're gonna do really quick, so I can just look at this on the computer.
Oh yeah, for sure. Hello. I'll probably be talking about like from this loud to a little bit quieter if I have to swear profusely.
Yeah,
probably run here.
I think no matter what, we're good. I got a little bit of clicking. Maybe I just need to turn this down just a little bit.
Oh, you want me to turn that metronome off in the background?
Is there a metronome?
No, kidding.
Oh, no. Yeah, no, you're good. Cool. Well, all right.
So you're drinking that Goza, right?
I'm not right now. Right now I'm drinking some tequila.
Nice. Right.
For everybody who's going to be listening to this right now, this is just a brief introduction to this. This is my guest. This is Mr. Kris Grahn over here. He is an amazing piano player. He's been a good friend of mine for a very long time, and been in a band with him before. We've done some jamming. This man is the master over here. He's pretty sick. I of course am your host again, Chris Marks. It is nice to see you. Well, see him. You can listen to me. Anyway. This is the first ever Skype interview we've done, so this is really cool. I'm actually really digging this. From my end, dude, like, this is actually perfect. Like, I'm looking at the levels. You haven't been back since I rearranged this room, and I have the couch over on the side now, and so I can like look at the computer's levels like while I'm doing this. And normally this would be your spot. Like you get the nice couch, man. I sit in the chair over there. You get the nice couch to do the interview. But we'll do that next time when we come back when we do the second interview.
Yes.
Anyway, how you been, man? How you doing?
Dude, doing good, man. Like everything's going pretty okay on the spring Houston end of things. You know, just constantly writing, working this little job right now, just keeping things going.
Sure, man. Sure.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, you've been writing any music, any cool stuff to report to me, any cool licks you got going, man?
Yeah, dude. I'm looking forward to jamming with you, man. I got a few things up here up my sleeve. Been doing a little bit of recording and whatnot. Trying to get a little band together over here.
Oh hell yeah! You had any leeway with that with Josh and Zach over there?
Yeah, dude. We've had a few jam sessions. Right now, like more than anything, I just want to get some things recorded. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. You mean like solo, or you mean like for like y'all's group?
Like a group wise, like a little group effort going on, just to get like some like raw recordings, just like to send out there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, dude. Are you doing it on the on your Zoom recorder?
Well, I'm doing like stuff by myself on that. Right now, I'm just trying to get everyone together to really get like the whole ensemble feel down, and then get some live shows going on. But I mean, I have a ton of music written, and like a 1 week jam, it's been awesome, dude. It's just everyone's schedule is so crazy, dude. Like,
oh yeah, I'm sure.
Like Josh is working with like a few other bands, doing school, working. Zach's working all the time, and like I'm working and like doing my thing too. So it's like whenever we can meet up, it's great though when we can.
Hell yeah, man. Dude, really quick, do you have a way to turn down the mic volume on yours really quick?
Yeah, let me take a look.
Turn that down like a half a hair because I'm just getting a little bit of clipping back here, and I'm actually really surprised at how good this recording is right now. I can't wait to post it, and you'd be like, oh wow, this is actually pretty cool. It's pretty good, man.
Right on. How is this? Better?
Yeah, it sounds good. Yeah, I don't hear any more of it, so I think it's good. I think no matter what, there'll be a little bit of it, like little clicks in there every now and then, because it's just connection over Wi-Fi and everything. We haven't perfected it yet, but
sure.
I think for the most part, I think it'll be friggin' awesome. So this is really cool. Yeah, dude, like I haven't talked to Josh or Zach in a little bit, but I'm sure they're freaking busy, especially like in Zach's planning a wedding now. I'm sure. I don't know.
Dude.
Has he set a date for that at all? Or anything? I haven't. I talk to him every now and then with beer. Like he'll send me a beer, I'll send him a beer, and stuff. Yeah.
It's I forgot the exact. I want to say like July 14th or something like that, but it's coming up during the summer, so it's a July wedding. I should know
nice.
the exact date.
Hey, not yet. Once everything's finalized, then you can start have to know things. But you're okay for right now. You're good. Cool, man. Hey, so what are you drinking there? What do you got?
I have the Sierra Nevada, the Blindfold Black IPA. I don't know.
Interesting. I've never had it before. I just started getting into black IPAs, and I really didn't like them before. Do you dig black IPAs?
Dude, I like the darker the beer, the better for me. So
okay.
This is like
cool.
They also had a rye IPA, which is pretty good too.
Cool. Well, I will set aside then. I have a few in the fridge for darker beers. My buddy Jeff, who I've talked about many times with it, and I don't think you ever got to meet Jeff because he never came down.
I don't met him now.
But he's going to be coming down in the end of April. We'll see if we can hook up together or something. But he sent me a case of Pipeworks because he's had a sales up there. And there's a few stouts in there. It was crazy. We tried at the brewery the oatmeal stout with blueberries in it over the weekend when I was giving tours, and man, that thing was just great. Like everybody, no one it's not distributed down here, right? So like everybody at the brewery is sitting here and they're like, it's a bunch of hype. Fuck it, they pour that beer and they're just like, okay, how do I get this beer? I'm just like, I gotta know someone, and they're just like, can I order 20? And then the other brewer goes, can I order 30? I was like, okay, you want to get some real numbers to me and we'll get some pricing and then yes, we can talk. But it's like we ain't talking 20 and 30 beers unless you are serious about this right now. So, but I'll set some aside. We got some crazy ones. He's got, dude,
all right.
Their barrel aged Jones Dog just beat Bourbon County Stout out this year, which is crazy. because Goose Island has always been killing that one every year. Is one of the best stouts in the world, and they beat it. I mean, they got he was.
I've got to try this.
Yeah, dude. I had that one. He'll probably be sending another one of those, and I'll save it. I had that one. A little while back. There's a beer store here. Did you go to Witchcraft while you were here? I remember telling you about it.
I don't think I ever have made it out there. I gotta check it out when I'm visiting y'all in Austin.
It might have not even been up like them because I know their year anniversary is in May. So I don't even know because I definitely wasn't here when you were in Austin.
I wasn't there yet. I was gone at that point.
Yeah. But there's a hair on this. Sorry, there's a hair on my microphone. Anyway, lacy fur. Anyway, one of the guys who helps run it, this guy Zach there. Oh, dude, I gotta get him on an interview too, man. That's a note to self. When I'm listening to this back, I better write that down. I gotta get Zach on the show. Anyway, I don't know the guy very well, but I talk to him every now and then when I go in there, and he was like, "Hey, man, I'm going up to Chicago, this weekend." This was a few weeks back. He's like, and can you hook me up with your buddy? I was like, yeah, of course, man. Because Pipeworks doesn't have a tap room or anything. Like, literally, you go up there, and until now, they just got a new brewery. Like, it's so DIY. Like, you walk in there, and it's like I can't remember what they said, but it's like in an old, like, friggin', like, discount tire looking thing. Like it's in the friggin' these garages. Like, they didn't even have lights for a while there. They didn't even have heat until this year. So they were sitting there all last year in the cold, like friggin' frigid temperatures in a warehouse, doing this. But I hooked him up, and he texted me on his way back down, and he's like, dude, he goes, so your buddy hooked me up with like the white whale over here, man. He goes, but he said the only stipulation is I gotta drink it with you. I was like, okay. So I came in, and I wanted to do it in the store, and I wanted to make sure that he got the most of it. I wanted to taste it, but he works in like the best beer store around here. I want everybody else to be able to taste it, so he opened it up while they do these tastings like every Wednesday and Thursday, I want to say, from 6 to 8. He was doing this tasting, and we opened it up, and it was like, God damn. Yeah, it's very similar to Bourbon County, and then it was just damn fucking good. But apparently they had no idea that they beat this, and I
just noticed one day. It's like,
yeah,
hey,
they didn't have any fucking idea. And then someone told him, they're like, yeah, did you know that bottle's going for like $250 on eBay? They're like, what? So yeah. Anyway. Long ramblings. Yeah. I'm drinking tequila right now. I'm drinking the last of my Espolón Añejo. Not the greatest tequila in the world, but it's doing good.
Right.
I'm actually a lot more sober than when I normally do this show. I think it's because like I only got like 5 hours of sleep last night, man, and I had to go to work this morning, and I was just like, by the time 3 o'clock hits, usually I've had a few beers at the brewery, because usually what it does is I'll get my 5 hours done of kegging, and then it's beer time, and then we get the rest of the stuff done, But I sat there, and I came back today, and then to take Lacey out to the dog park, I had one of the Gozas, and then I came back and had another Goza, and That's what you call it. Goza.
No, the Bark Park, right?
Yeah, the Bark Park. Yeah. Bark Park, man. I've gotten to the point of where I don't give a fuck too when I go there. Like I go there, and I've noticed that no one else cares, so I've started like just bringing like cans of beer or bottles, and I don't even fucking care. I'm just like walking into the dog park with beer in my hand. I'm like, I don't fucking care. So it's only a matter of time before I bring whiskey or something in my hands. I'm like friggin' Julian from Trailer Park Boys. Like sitting there going.
Around with the glass. Like, all right, don't go.
Dude, I finally got into that show. You tried to get me into that show so many times, and I finally got into that show, and it's great. It's great. I was missing out.
It's awesome, dude. It's freaking awesome.
Dude, you been watching any cool shows? Anything recently?
Let's see. I finally fell into the Game of Thrones trap, so I'm hooked now. There's no hope for me.
Okay.
Sunk its claws into me. So I've been watching that. like Curb Your Enthusiasm a lot lately. I finally like got back into that
I
shit.
haven't checked that out, and I just listened to the Marin interview with Jeff Garland talking about
Oh,
that.
really?
Yeah.
Dude, you will love that show, man.
Yeah? What is
It's
that show
awesome.
about? What is that show about?
It's like an exaggerated version of Larry David, the creator. Like he's just basically it's just like a daily life. You know, there's no real like story arc going on. Like sometimes there'll be like a few like episodes that are loosely connected, or like like one with a sequel episode. But dude, he's just going around having horrible social interactions, just like stumbling all over his every word he says. It's pretty good, dude.
All right, cool. Yeah, he said, in the interview, he said that he barely ever writes a joke. He almost exclusively goes up there and riffs. And that's on both that show and when he does stand up. And apparently, like, he's known in the business as like the most relaxed comic on stage. He just has no problem. He just
Oh
goes
man,
up
I
there.
can see that just based on like his acting. He's kind of like
Yeah.
he's there, he has a presence. He's just funny. He's like, hey, all right, all right.
Hell yeah. Have you watched the Goldbergs? I love that show. It's nostalgic. It's great.
I have not. I've never seen the Goldbergs. No.
It's the other show he's doing, and it's an '80s sitcom. That the cool thing about it is it's actually based on all true stories, and at the end they play the actual home videos of it. So I guess this kid was really into film, and his family in general, and so they videotaped like everything. So he'll do an episode, and then the actual things that are happening in the episode will be at the end, like on tape of like, and they'll put like pointers to like oh, this is my mom. This is my, this is who they were talking about in the story, and it's friggin' hilarious. It's like, dude, that's pretty sweet. And the main voice is oh my god, what is it? Patton Oswalt. So,
oh, no kidding.
Yeah, so it's pretty good. It's pretty sweet.
All right, man, I gotta look for that. Where's it? Like, what network is it on?
I think it's on ABC, and I watch it on Hulu with it. So,
Hulu? Okay.
Yeah.
I gotta get some Hulu going on, man.
Yeah, man, it's the right time with it because of all the shows going up again. Everything. Salem starts back up on Easter. If that ain't anti-religious, I don't know what is. That is just ridiculous. You gonna put Salem on at freaking Easter? I was like, guys, I know what you did there. That was that was that. I don't even know how they got away with it because they're like on. They're not even on like. It's not like they're on Fox or NBC or anything. They're like on like WGN. I'm just like, how did you get away with?
I like it when there's shows like they have like a show like that, like it'll be like a kid's show, like an Easter special coming in. You know what I mean? It's like
yeah.
Here, like you go to a commercial break, it'll be like, here's the next part of this Easter special. Then Salem's coming on next. This is still on, kids.
We're gonna
Killing the witches.
we're gonna get some like straight satanic witch worship, going on down here. Let's do it, man. That girl who plays the main character is beautiful. Wow, Hannah and I every time we see that, we're just like, man, that girl is gorgeous. Anyway, okay.
I gotta check it out. I haven't seen it yet.
I'm drinking some.
I've been like on a Netflix kick and everything. I barely watch, like I catch everything like 5 years late now. It's been the pattern. So I'll be talking about a show. You're like, oh, that was great in like 2009, man. And
dude,
maybe,
you know what's really funny is I think it's Hulu doing it. Oh, it's got to be Hulu because they're the ones with advertisements. Netflix doesn't have advertisements on their stuff. They're advertising because they got Peep Show on.
Oh.
And so everybody's talking about the show Peep Show. Like, it's just like, it's all cool now. It's like, my buddy Chris was into that show before it was cool. Okay,
dude, that show that's great, dude. So dirty, it's trash, man. I love it. They're such creeps.
Dude, that takes Trailer Park Boys to like the next level. Like, that's not it. Like, it's like past that. It's like, it's so much past it.
Oh my
it's
god,
ridiculous. Oh god,
the wedding episode in particular. Like when I think of that show, that's what stands out to me, dude.
Yeah, the wedding episode's ridiculous. Oh. Okay, so I guess let's get into some cool stuff. All right, let's get into the little history of Kris Grahn and his awesome music skills, man. Okay, so like what? I know a lot of this. I mean, we grew up together, but I mean, right. But for listeners over here, I mean, oh my gosh, hold on, this guy is calling me, and I'm gonna have to call him back. All right, you there?
Yeah, I lost you there.
Yeah, that was weird for a second. It's because this dude just called me really quick. I gotta come right back because it's about a job. So
Oh,
hold
okay.
up real quick. I will be right back.
All right.
Yo. Sorry about that, man.
That's all good, dude. What's going on?
Sorry. So a little back information with this. Right now, the listeners kind of know what this, but I'm volunteering at a brewery. Trying to get my career started down here in Austin, Texas, doing in the brewery scene. Right now, I'm kind of in the midst of a transition of where one other brewery might be able to offer me a better position starting out than the other one. And
Cool.
so, sorry, a person was calling me really quick to give me an update on what's going on. So, sorry about that. I had
That's
texted
all right.
him earlier. Anyways, getting back into this. Okay, so we are talking about Kris over here and his amazing musical talents and where he started with this and what's going on. So, where did it start, Kris? When did it start?
When did it start? When did it really start?
Yes. Or in general, when did it start? What's the very beginning, man? What are we doing?
The very beginning. Oh man, let's see. This is kind of funny. It's like really like when I was a little kid, it was like this pentatonic song in like this bike video game called Road Rash. I remember I was probably like maybe 5, and like my uncle was playing it. It was awesome. He's like, you're like beating people baseball bats, driving in like Australia's desert. It's like really. He's like do 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 do. I had to go pick it out on the black keys on the piano. I was like, oh cool. And then after that, my family knows me on the piano, and then they put me in piano lessons, which I hated. All I wanted to go was ride trails on my bike.
Everybody
go
does.
outside and get dirty. I did not want to play piano lessons at all.
I feel you there, man.
But it was fun. Like it kind of set the tone, sort of like later on. Like I actually got.
How old were you when you started piano lessons?
I started them like late, man. Like I started at like probably 9 to 10. I only took 2 years because I broke my arm. And then I was like, yes, perfect excuse not to go to piano lessons.
You always were like the extreme sports guy, man. You just took those risks, man. We used to jump off roofs together. He did way cooler stuff than I did with jumping off roofs, but we used to jump off roofs together.
I paid for it. I paid for every single moment. Oh, man.
It was fucking fun times though, man.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So we're back at you're 9. Yeah, you're 9 years old. You're taking lessons, and you broke your arm. What's going on?
Didn't really do much music for a long time. Like, I mean, I did band, right? I did beginner band in 6th grade. I didn't know what I wanted to play, but I knew I wasn't really too interested in like, I like baseball and basketball, right? But I didn't really want to do sports for like the extracurricular stuff. I was like, all right, didn't want to do choir, and orchestra wasn't available where I was. So I was like, all right, band, like, what do you want to play? Good question. I have no idea. You'd surprise me, pick something. So like, all right, how about tuba? Like, sure. Doesn't sound that great, but sure. They start you. You played euphonium too, Jake. You know how they start you out on euphonium regardless of tuba or euphonium.
Yeah.
It's just like you're like what, like 2.5 feet tall, 6th grade. Like I was like a little kid. It's like, euphonium is as big as I am, and a tuba's twice as big. It'll crush me.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I started on euphonium. Hated it so much all the way up to probably like I don't know, my sophomore year in high school. Hated it. And then for some reason it's kind of clicked, and then like that's like what I did. I was like total band nerd. It's like I was either like for the first half, like I was like either skateboarding or playing band. You know what I mean? Like marching band. Like remember that stuff, Jake?
Yeah.
But that's a really like musical thing. Is like really like I always like loved it. Like it took me a while to really like get into it, and then like I guess I got a little bit older. Like started picking up piano again, man. And like just really that's like really in like the past few years, I started getting more and more, and like just learning more about harmony, and like it's like writing and like singing and like trying to do all these things, trying to learn everything at once. But man, it's fun. I love it, dude. It's like sort of grew into something I used to hate. Sort of grew into something that like I love and cherish. It's like the only thing like. That keeps me grounded, with all the stuff, busy things going on in life. It's like one thing I can go to, and just it's always like there, solid. Like even if like I don't know, man, like or a bum on the street, I'd find like a pan to hit on. Like that's a rhythm right there.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah. I mean, it kind of is. I mean, it's a life force. I mean, it really is going through there. I mean, you can feel it pulsing through yourself. And I always think it's cool when I go to any place where on the streets you got those people like banging buckets and stuff.
Yeah, it's
Because
cool.
that shows like the primal element of it, right?
Uh-huh.
Like it's all the way down to the basics.
Everywhere. Music's everywhere. Like
Yeah.
can be done with anything.
What was that movie that it was about the couple who fell in love with each other and the kid like has to find does he like find back to his parents or something like through music? I can't remember, but he keeps hearing like music throughout the streets and he's like
Didn't it have Robin Williams in it?
I want to say yes it did. Yes, he did. And he played like a total creeper on it too, but he did a great job. Like it was incredible.
Guy, like just horrible human beings.
Yeah, what was that called? What the hell was that called?
Like August
Rush.
August Rush.
August Rush.
Right?
Yeah. So no, I mean the difference was I started out on trumpet, actually.
Really?
It was. Yeah, but that was before you and I knew each other because I mean that was back in middle school when I was over in Spring, doing it in middle school at Kleb. And yeah, like my lips were too big for it. Like I sucked at it. It was so bad.
So hard.
I luckily had a good teacher, band director who looked at me and was like, "This isn't right," and he put me on the euphonium, and then we're cursed for the rest of our existence to explain what the fuck a euphonium is because no one knows what the fuck that is.
It's a baby tuba.
It's a baby tuba. Yeah. You ever see those fucking small tubas out there? That's what it fucking is. It's that thing.
That's it.
Yeah, I mean it's an awesome instrument, but no one ever knows what the hell it is. And they never have the stickers for your parents' cars or your cars or anything with clip art. It's just bullshit. They just completely shit on the euphonium every time. It's like what other instrument is like that? I don't know what other. I don't think there is another instrument like that. They all got the clarinets, they got the flutes, they even got the oboes going in there on all the merchandise you can get. But euphoniums, no, fuck you. You play.
They'll have like they'll have like a baritone, which it's just not the same.
It's not.
I mean, they look pretty similar.
Similar. But even finding a baritone is a task.
If
you find it, goddamn. I mean, good job.
Hey, maybe we can spread the word, man.
We can spread the word. I need more tequila. Here, hold up. Getting this tequila. Okay. So you're playing euphonium. You're always mad awesome at practicing. You just freaking learned everything that you possibly could, which has always been something I admire about you. It's awesome, man.
I love the practice.
Yeah, dude. You have that drive to do it. I mean, and that's how you got to the level of piano that you are. You just sat there and you taught yourself for hours upon hours upon hours. Like, not many people have that drive, and that is awesome, dude.
Honestly, I prefer not all the time, but dude, like I'm pretty lame. Like I'd rather stay in some days. Like I really gotta practice this today. I gotta stay in and not go out tonight.
Yeah.
Sit there and play piano. It's like, what is this guy doing? Sitting here, just go have my headphones on.
Yeah.
Clack, 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 clack. It's like, what is going on in there?
So, what was his name? So where are you going with your music now? Now we had done a project together before. Where are you going? Where are you going with your music now? What would you say? Like, could you describe it? Is it going on a similar path? Have you changed genres? What do you see yourself doing now musically?
Man, I mean, definitely like a similar path, I know what I like. I mean, I'm always hearing so many new interesting sounds coming out every year, man. I try to keep on top of that, but it's hard because there's so much. Mm-hmm. But I mean, me, man, I love like rock and like blues and stuff, like pretty much forefront along with like a lot of classical stuff. Mm-hmm. I try to keep up with like a little bit of the pop too, because there's I'm not always super huge on the pop, like just like straight pop, but there's some really, really good stuff out there, like some voices and just like some arrangements and everything. It's just like blow my freaking mind. Like some of the
Hush sound.
Dude, they're good. that's really good pop rock. They have a few really good songs, man. Like I
always felt happy because I felt like I never could in school find a band that like I could show you and be like, oh man, this is awesome, and you agree with, and I found the Hush sound, and then you're like, this is awesome, and I was like, dude, yes, I finally did it.
The second album, especially, dude.
Oh yeah,
freaking, it's really good.
Yeah, that awesome, was incredible. Man. You wish that they would have kept going and doing stuff, but they, what's funny is they still play. They still play all the time, but they just don't make anything new.
Okay.
Like because I guess they're just doing all their own separate projects. They said that they broke up, and then yet they unite like pretty often. Yeah, because the girl went off to form Gold Motel. I can't remember where the guy went. I think hers is like the only one that actually went somewhere. And Gold Motel is cool. You can definitely tell who wrote what in the Hush sound.
Oh, that's interesting to see. Like when all the individuals branch off, you're like, oh, I recognize that like little turn of phrase or that little kind of like sort of riff or like that scale progression that's like that you hear in a few songs. I like that.
There's definitely like the songs that like I would say that are like more beautifully like orchestrally organized out were written by her. You can tell like the way the piano structure drove the song rather than any kind of guitar or rock structure that was going on. So like it was interesting to see because it's kind of really cool, I think, because like when you see stuff like that, you almost think of the other band as a super band, right? Because you think like you listen to Gold Motel with her, and I don't know any of their names, but if you look at Gold Motel with her playing it, and you're just like, oh, this is so good on its own. And then you like combine it with the other people. It's like, it's almost like a super band. You know what I mean? Because it's just like, you can tell exactly where that piece came from. And now it's in with this. And you're like, yeah, man. It's like listening to like Broken Bells, right? Where you got the singer from, I think it's the Shins, right? And then Danger Mouse together. And you're like, you can totally tell what side each of them came from. And it's like, this is really
and if you're
cool.
The collaboration in the middle, that's like the best part.
Yeah. I think my favorite thing too is God damn, like I'm looking like an idiot over here with the music references, but there's a song that the Broken Bells did with CeeLo Green, and so it was like Gnarls Barkley and Broken Bells, and I was like, this is sweet, like listening to that. And I think that was off of like an earlier album of theirs, but it was good. The last album that they did was pretty cool. I've never been a huge fan of Broken Bells, but separately, like the guys are just awesome. I don't know, it's cool. Anyway, yeah. Dude, what have you been digging on? Speaking of, what have you been digging on musically recently? What have you been sticking to? You got some artists, you got some stuff to check out. I got a whole list that I'm just like completely back assward over here. You know, like,
man, it's been pretty simple. Like for me lately, like I've just been like going back, listening to like a lot of kind of old school stuff. I've been jamming like a little bit of Beastie Boys lately. Been jamming them pretty hard. Like strange enough, like a little bit of like I just had to go back and re-listen to I mean, you know, I'm always like every once in a while hitting the Beatles up, you know what I mean? So I've just been listening to like it was Abbey Road for a while. Right now I'm kind of like taking a break on them just because I don't want to overplay it. I'm going to listen to that for the rest of my life. You know what I mean? So classical, like I've been trying to listen to like some Rachmaninoff stuff going on, just like to hear like some crazy blazing piano playing going on, just like try and like get me going. Like, okay, I gotta get better, Chris. I gotta get better. I suck. This guy's crazy good.
See, you've always been like sitting there with your motivator. Like, you know, you and I have that very similar in common of where we're both like musicians who sit there and are constantly like, man, I suck. I need to get up on this. And it's like a motivation technique because both of us are always like incredibly like freaking down on ourselves, like saying like we'll write something, like we both go through the same stages of where we'll write something, we'll be so stoked about it, it's awesome, and then the next day we're like, that was the biggest piece of shit I've ever written in my life.
And then 2 days later, like, wait, hold on. I deleted it. Oh, well, crap.
Dude, and we sat there whenever we did the project together, you know, we sat there doing Feeble Tiger and shit, same Feeble Tiger. If anybody looks us up, they're going to know exactly who I am now. I don't fucking care. Whatever. It doesn't matter. Kris Marks is just an awesome name for it.
We had a fun time doing it, man. That was a lot of
yeah, no, it was awesome, but it's funny
me
because
and Sarah, dude. That's
yeah, because we've been we would sit there though every time you and we'd like start at the beginning, and you'd either like tell me to play a song and I'd be like, nah, I just don't like that with that, or I'd tell you to play a song and you're like, nah, I just don't like that. Like, and both of them would happen, and there would be like 4 songs that we'd be able to get through where we'd be like, yeah, I really dig that by the end of it, and the next time we're like, nah, I don't dig that anymore. We gotta do it again. And I mean, we were lucky we even settled on the 3 songs we did. You know what I mean?
I know. We had, dude. In reality, looking back, like we actually had like some good stuff that we just we were too picky, I think, at the time.
Yeah.
Like now, it's I feel like it's not that I'm less picky, but I like I don't know, maybe like more confident, like just like being able to settle with something like, all right, this is the work we've done. It's completed. Let's just record it out. But then we're like, okay, dude, we got to write these. We were like, we got to
Yeah.
write something excellent, awesome, perfect. But
Yeah.
we had some good stuff that we never like put out. But now it's kind of past now. You know what I mean?
Yeah. There's
But I mean, we had some
I mean, we'll see.
stuff.
You never know what the future brings, man. I mean,
I want to jam with you again.
I don't see our friendship ending anytime freaking soon. So we'll have other stuff coming.
Yeah,
So,
I fully intend on coming, like when I come to Austin, just like trading riffs again, just
Sure.
like playing, and like I want to maybe record a song or two with you.
oh yeah, dude, we can do it right here. You know,
whenever I come up, I would love to.
it's real easy when we're right here, man. Like I got this set up with this, man.
You have a great setup. I want to add, dude. This guy has like a awesome music laboratory going on there. Some
Thanks.
sick stuff in there, dude.
Dude, it's gonna be even cooler now that I've like just abandoned the whole idea of making it a recording studio and just making it the most killer jam pad. So I got a mini fridge in here now. And
Nice.
and then what I'm gonna do is as soon as I start making more money, I've already looked up the designs and I'm doing it with one of the other brewers I work with. We're gonna build a keezer. Do you know what a keezer is?
I don't know, but I'm very curious to hear.
Okay. A keezer, I heard this is what it is a kegerator. And so literally what we're gonna do is we're gonna take a horizontal freezer. You know the ones you put in like a garage and everything.
Right.
And you
right,
hook it
right.
up, and then you put kegs in it. You put a collar around it. And it has a tap system coming out. Now, what we're gonna do on top of this, man, we're gonna take this to the next extreme. Since Hannah and I are gonna be here for a little bit, for like the next probably like 5 years going on before we look at like houses and everything. Is I'm gonna put drywall in front of it. I've never worked with drywall before, and I'm really excited. I'm gonna put drywall in front of it, and we're gonna put it in the closet. We're gonna put it in this fucking closet over here.
Are
now
you
can-
serious?
Oh
That's-
fuck yeah!
that's
Oh
pretty
fuck
sick.
yeah! So we're
I
gonna
like
put it. We're gonna
that.
put it in that closet over there, man. You're gonna be able to open up, and it's gonna look like it was built into the damn closet. It's gonna look like you fucking built a goddamn closet with a keg system in it, and it's gonna look so sick. I'm so excited.
Awesome.
But we're gonna build it to where it looks flawless. But really, all it is whenever we have to move, is I just take that faceplate off of the drywall. I'll have to cut around it, you know what I mean, and then like smooth it out really quick. But it's not receding into the drywall at all. It's just gonna look like it was built that way. So I can just literally take it when we move and take it out, put it to the next place. You know what I mean? Then do it again.
Nice.
You know,
Nice.
dude, I'm stoked. Everybody in this damn industry has a kegerator. I'm like, I don't got a fucking kegerator. I want a
I
fucking
need to get a
kegerator.
kegerator.
I want a goddamn draft system at my house. It sounds amazing. No, actually, and I even talked with Sarah a little while back about doing another project. But all of us, we've been so freaking busy. Like she's so busy with South by,
Yeah.
and it just like we barely. I think I've seen her once. She got Hannah and I wristbands, which was sweet, and I feel like an asshole because she said, I couldn't believe what she did. I was like, thank you so much, and she's like, yeah, I'd like to give it to someone who's actually going to use it. I gave them to my roommates last year, and they didn't go to a single show with it.
What?
And now Hannah and I have been those assholes because we went to shit, but none of them required a wristband. So like I'm just like, wow, we're those assholes. I was like, we're those assholes. Nothing that you gave us these wristbands, we didn't fucking use them. Like, but it's funny because that's
It's
the way
really
that South by is like becoming. Is it's like all RSVP. Like you have to RSVP to those shows, and then that's how you get in. And that's it. And honestly, I felt like the biggest douche. And I was talking to Liz about this, and luckily she agreed with me because if not, I would have felt like an even bigger douche. But she said it first too. She was like, "I swear to God, I know less than 1% of the bands that are here this year." I was like, "Oh, thank God!" I was like, "It's not just me." I looked at that lineup, and I was like, I could pick off 2 names. I'm pretty sure I could pick off 2 fucking names that I knew who the hell they were at South by. And like, I mean, that's part of the thing of South by, is like learning new music and everything with it. But I just like,
But sometimes it's nice, like when there's a band you're really looking forward to coming in. You're like, yes,
maybe just even one, because then I'd be willing to wait in a 5-hour line. But I'm not gonna wait in a 5-hour line for something that I have no idea about. So
Right,
I was a little bummed too because speaking of music that we've gotten into and everything, I've gotten like, I guess back to my roots, but with a little bit of like mix in there of I've just gone straight punk.
Really?
Like, yeah, man. Like, and I don't mean like thrash punk or anything. I mean like true pop punk, man. I started listening to all the bands that Mark tried to get me to listen to back in college, and plus like much more. And I've just been like, there's a band right now that like just blends my like two favorite genres. It's got like the true emo genre and punk, and they're a band called Pup, and they're from Canada. And we're not talking like emo like scene bands like we knew back in high school, like that I used to listen to right there. We're talking like emo like shit like Brand New, Captain Jazz, American Football. Those are actually both like same members of those fucking bands. But it's like indie with like yelling over it with it, man. And like they just blend the punk genres together. They got both like groups of people like listening to this band. And they put out the CD. And the only place you can get it around here is Waterloo. And so I went to Waterloo specifically, got the last copy, and that shit has been in my car for the last like 2 months, and I swear to God, I've listened to it straight through over 30 times. Like I can't stop. It's so good. It's so goddamn good. Like they just did such a fucking great job. But I listened to that. I started listening to bands that like I should have gotten into, like shit like Bomb the Music Industry, shit like Jesus, why do I have to blank like while I'm thinking of all this shit? Shit like Bomb the Music Industry, shit like the Menzingers, shit like oh my God, what the fuck is their name? I don't know. There's basically every punk band that you can set that goes out of Chicago is what is on my list right now. And I go back and forth between that and like the most chill trip hop that you've ever heard. And like, I don't know. Yeah, it's like the most opposite things going on here. And
you
then
need that though sometimes, because too much of one thing, you'll just be like,
yeah. And then you want to mix it up. Then I'm like listening to like French gypsy jazz. And I'm like rocking Django Reinhardt over here, just like loving the shit out of it. Like, oh man, and then oh man, I guess a little bit of bluegrass too. You know, being back like here, especially where I'm living and doing these events.
I can jam with some bluegrass, dude, for sure. I saw it's cool, like a bluegrass kind of blues band. Like I was with my dad and like some family like down in Victoria, and like this is kind of random. I was going on this like. Maybe we'll get to this in a minute. This crazy freaking journey in Rockport, and they're just like this random band. They're cool. Like they're called like Tyrannosaurus Chicken. They're going all around. Like they're touring all over, man. They're going like Chicago here in a little bit.
Yeah.
And then they're in Texas right now. They're cool, man. They're cool people. They're cool. It was an interesting night, though. I'll tell you that for sure.
Oh yeah, do you want to get into why it was interesting, or do you not want to get into why it's interesting?
No, probably shouldn't, but I mean.
Okay.
I could. It was the whole day. Really, it was just
You don't have to. We could totally get into this like when you come up here, and then we can do a second one of where you don't have to do this in front of your family, you know, and everything with this. I completely understand that. That's fine. We can talk crazy stories when you come up and do the next one. We'll talk some.
This one is
it pretty nuts?
Good.
It's pretty nuts. We on Mike Jones level nuts, or are we doing normal nuts?
Well, I mean, my own little special way.
Okay.
My own little special brand of crazy, I guess.
I love Mike Jones. I just referenced him over here.
I talked to him today, dude.
Did you really?
Yeah, I called him up earlier. I just had to say what's up, man. You know, and you said what, 2 weekends or something like that?
Yeah, so because this weekend's Easter, and then the next weekend, and it'll really depend on, I guess, what's going on with the job spectrum, how long that'll be. Right now, no matter what, I can do like Saturday evening to Sunday and stuff like that. But like, I'm trying to be it to where I can do it more, but. The place I'm at, they're going to be out of town for that time, and I have to cover some stuff. But I just don't know how everything's working out. I have no idea how everything's working out. But you let me know if you can come, and we're going to figure it out. And that's what we're going to do.
Right on.
That's what we're going to do. Oh, speaking of which, you talked to Marvin a little bit. Marvin's a good friend of ours back from high school. Chris was roommates with him for a while. A good friend of ours. He lives over in San Marcos. Cool guy. Anyway, yeah.
I talked to him maybe a week or two ago. Just, you know, didn't really talk for long. Just say, hey, what's up? I hadn't talked to him for a bit. You know, he's doing well. Everything's going good. So it's nice, But aside from that, I haven't really talked to him too much. I intend to, I want to whenever I come up, I'd like to see y'all and like Marvin and Mike and Russell. Do you remember Russell?
I
You met
remember Russell. I only met him once. Yeah.
Really? Only one time?
Yeah, it was only that one time. He had chilled with us that one time while we were jamming and stuff, and that was it. That's all I'd ever met him. That was it. No, I saw him one other time, and
that's right. When
we had been drinking, and he had been doing something, and so he was like, right. when I talked to him again, he was like, sure, I've met you. Yeah.
Russell.
Oh, fucking
He's
A,
wild.
man.
He's wild.
There was a band that just came out of San Marcos that I can't remember what their name is. I gotta look that up again. Fucking phenomenal. They were on the radio. It was that genre that you would expect to come out of Austin, which is not a bad thing. I just freaking like it, but it's that like blues rock girl guy duo kind of thing going on. You know what I mean? Fucking incredible. I gotta look them up and remember who it was again. But man, they're great. Man, you've been listening. You checked out Shaky Graves yet?
No, I haven't. No.
Dude, you gotta check them out, man. I mean, they are killing it. That CD that they put out was amazing. So good, dude. Yeah, dude, and they're straight out of Austin, man.
Shaky Graves.
Shaky Graves, man. And then the other band you should check out and these guys are straight bluegrass. I mean, like there is no way you could call it anything else. They are freaking old school bluegrass, which this is hilarious, Chris. You ain't even gonna believe this. So I worked 2 VIP events, right? And both of them they were playing these, and I got in VIP to see them. And it's funny as hell because I had no idea who they were. They're called Whiskey Shivers, and I had never known who the hell these were. And I get up there and I'm like thinking, oh man, this got to be like a pretty epic rock band or something, right? Dude, I fucking get there and this dude is playing the banjo, just killing it. And I'm just like, this is a goddamn VIP show of a bluegrass band. This is badass. And everybody, the funny thing about it is like everybody in it is like indie hipster covered in tattoos playing bluegrass. I'm like, all right, this is pretty cool. I was like, I never would have guessed that you guys are playing bluegrass. Like, this is pretty cool. They had a black banjo player. How often do you see that one? I was just like, holy crap, man. This guy, and he is killing it, man. He is killing it. His fingers are moving so fast that you can't even keep up.
Banjo, dude. I'll just sit on my porch all day, dude.
I would love, right? Like, doesn't that sound like amazing? Man, oh, man. Oh, dude. That sounds awesome. I've been trying to learn some more, like Robert Johnson style blues guitar. Like I've been doing a lot of finger picking. Yeah, I've been playing on that old L50 I got.
Yeah.
I fucking love that guitar, and it sounds beautiful for it. And so I've been doing that. Man, I need to pick that up. I haven't done that in a few weeks now. Oh god, I've been so fucking busy. Man, you lose track of the time. I can't even... Man, the last track that I did was the theme song for this show, which you'll hear when you do the podcast, when you hear the podcast over again. But the last I did was the theme song for this show, and before that, I can't even tell you how long it's been. Like, basically, since FT was just done with it, so it's just like, shit.
And it's crappy the way that happened, because,
Yeah.
It sucks. I would love to have a jam session, with the three of us sometime again, or just like whatever. That would just be cool, just like that. I'll hang out, even just play some music, kick it, whatever.
It's just bad timing, man. I mean, like shit happens, you can't avoid it. Shit happens, and you move on. But it's cool because that was the first project we did, together with this all together. I mean, we did a ska project like way back, like which didn't do anything. Yeah, like that was a pain in the ass. That like lasted like 2 weeks, and that was just done. This is the first project that we did, like, at the end. I guarantee you we'll be doing more of them. So, you know what? You take it, you run with it, and you're like, okay, that was the first one, now let's do the second one, Oh, man, I remember I was going to say this earlier. Man, I got to piss like a racehorse. I'm going to say this in just a second. No. You know what? Hold on. Hold that thought, because I got to pee. I'll be right back.
I need another beer. Perfect time.
Okay. Need another beer. I got to pee. We'll be right back.
All right. Hello.
So I don't know how this happened. Sorry, okay, you couldn't hear me. They could hear me on there. So I don't know how this happened, but I broke my headphones. I don't know how I did it. Like
Oh.
the strap, like everything's okay. I shouldn't say I broke them. I shouldn't say I broke them because I didn't break them. The leather strap or false leather strap up here like ripped off. I went to put them on when we took the last break, and I was like, "What the fuck?" It was fucking ripped the fuck off. I was like,
Oh, dude.
I don't even know, man. I don't even know. Okay, so what I was gonna say before the break is so Jason Schwartzman. You ever heard of him before?
Yeah, man. Like
Okay,
the actor, musician.
Yeah. So he has a really interesting theory on the way that he writes music with it, and I thought you would appreciate this. I sat there today while I was kegging. I was listening to this interview, and it's with Marin. I mean, I take a lot of inspiration from him. I hope he doesn't ever think that I'm stealing his show over here. He gives me a lot of
That
inspiration.
dude's a genius, man. That guy is awesome.
He is, and I like to think we're a little different on our shows, so hopefully he doesn't think I stole it because I take him as an inspiration. Not I don't want to steal somebody's shit. Anyway, no, but Jason Schwartzman was talking about the thing that he does is he forces himself every night to write something for at least 3 hours. But the thing about it is he doesn't listen back to it the next day. He will not. He will actually wait weeks before coming back to it. And I thought that was an interesting concept because he said, because he just put out an album with the band he's with, and he said the thing he does when he goes to the recording studio that he's found works the best is he never writes full songs. He because he's someone who can write like half a song and then like he doesn't like the way the other half turns out, which a lot of us are who are musicians, you know what I mean? Which
Right,
I know
right.
I have that problem every time. Usually right when I hit like the bridge, I think I've fucked something. Like I just am not it's just not it structurally. I think it's either like too repetitive, or I think that it's just not complex enough, or I think it's too complex, or I think that I get in my head. I get in my own head, which I think everybody does that as an artist, with it. But he was talking about the thing that he does is every time that he writes, it doesn't matter if it sucks or not. He records it and he goes for at least 3 hours every night, and then he will go and wait almost until he's going into the studio, and then eventually, like maybe a month before he goes into the studio, he'll take everything that he's done during that time period, put it into iTunes, and make a playlist. And wherever he goes, he's just going to listen to the next one. So he doesn't even touch it. Dude, the dude has enough restraint to fucking sit there and write a song and not touch it for months. How the fuck do you do that? Because I sat there, man, I don't know about you. I have to listen back to it. I want to add on to it. I want to keep going on that song.
Right,
but what happens 9 times out of 10 is that you end up throwing out that song, right? You end up throwing it out because you're just like, it just wasn't good enough. So
Dude,
I'm sitting here and thinking about taking his approach. I'm thinking about doing it, of where I'm just going to write something, I'm going to leave it. I ain't going to touch it for like months. But you have to keep it organized because I don't know about you, I have so many licks that I've recorded that I'm just like I haven't listened to in years. And so I guess you have to be diligent enough to be like, okay, this is from this time period, put it all together, drag it out, and do it. And I guess the best thing that you could probably do is every time you record, at least for me, like on the computer doing it, is export it. Just export it as a WAV file, put it into a folder, and put it to the side, and then come back. But I thought that was amazing because I was just like, I'm just sitting here, I'm just like, why don't I do this? I write, like I'm listening to this guy, I'm like, man, I am so similar to this guy in the way I write music. And like I was listening to it, like how he does everything, because he's not a shredder either, man. He's a chord player, and he won't ever say he's a shredder. He's like I can't. I wish I could do that, but he can't. He's like I write chords, and so he'll write those songs, man, and then just not touch them. Like, man, that is some serious restraint,
Yeah,
but I want to see you feel so differently about stuff, like just like you said, of where you're just like, man, when you
it's
really
like putting
looked
in a
at it,
time capsule and like you come back to it.
right. But it's just like you said about FT, of where you're just like, we actually had like this many songs, and that's that many months down the line. So what are you going to think of that lick that you threw out? Like, how many licks have you thrown out? Because I know countless. Like not even close to an imaginable number of licks have I thrown out the damn window. And oh my god, that was loud. Oh, sorry.
What?
Sorry, my iPad makes like freaking noises when I get a text message and it just dinged like the sound. Oh my god, it's like resonating in my head still. That was so loud. Anyway, yeah, no, I thought that was so interesting though. I was just like, man,
It is. Yes.
we might have to try it, man. As musicians, I feel like we owe ourselves that, to sit there and just sit on that riff, just write it and just don't fucking touch it, man. Like and that's so hard to do. It's so hard. I don't even know, man.
I thought I had restraint, just maybe waiting until the morning.
Right. And there's that time of night too, because you write just like me, where like you do your best writing of like where you're like
that's my time, man. 2 to 3.
Yeah, like 2 to 3 o'clock. We've talked about this before. Yeah, like 2 to 3 o'clock, and then there's that point of where you should stop because you're sitting there and you do it and you're just like.
You hit it so many times, just like this is going nowhere. I gotta go to sleep.
Right. Well, I think it's one or the other. You've either hit it to where it's like you landed on it perfectly, and you're like, I don't want to fuck this up. Yeah. Or you've hit it so many times, it's like, okay, this is just going nowhere.
It's turning into something else. This is not.
And you're like, okay, this is back to the drawing board. Back to the drawing board. We're done with this.
And then you scrap it, right?
Yeah, then you scrap it. Then you come in the next day and you hear the shit that you produce. That literal fecal fucking matter that came out of your goddamn bullshit brain, and you're just like, this was
so harsh, Jake. So harsh.
This show is called Useless Threats. I rant about things. I enjoy this. Yes. So as Kris has called me multiple times, my real name is Jake. You can still call me Kris Marks. You can call me Jake. I'm gonna keep doing Kris Marks just because I like the stage name. My real name is just not that stagish. Stages? Stages.
Jacques Pierre.
My real name is just really not that stage friendly, and I like the Kris Marks thing. So, and plus, you know what? I've done this whole website thing and everything, and I really do not feel like going back and changing that. So we're gonna keep it at. I mean, people that know me, obviously, I'm interviewing Kris, and we've been friends for a real long time, so he knows me. But yeah. But other people like that I interview who don't know me, it's very easy to go by Kris Marks. But it's there. I revealed it the last time. I don't freaking care. I'm kind of so to get into this, I'm kind of at the point here where I'm just like, I know at some point this is going to get out to my parents and my family. I don't know how, but
okay, that's
somehow.
Sometimes with this kind of stuff, right? Like you never know. It's just like, well,
right.
I said this, and this. My close friends and family. Yeah, you're right. Okay.
But I guess there's a point though where, I mean, dude, I'm almost 25 going on here, and
sure, it's just like,
do you really fucking care? I mean, I'm almost 25 goddamn years old. When will we stop caring what our goddamn parents think? You did a great job raising me. You're over there. You support me. You're amazing. I love you.
Now, listen to this.
But listen to this. I'm a terrible person. You will now hate me for the rest of your life.
I think it's hilarious. I mean, it could be a win-win. Like,
this
kid right here, he's all right.
I told you before. My mom says, you remember our partying days, man. You remember our partying days. You remember how I used to store all our.
Could you remind me?
Oh, could I? We'll get into that the next interview again when you're not in front of your mom, who probably still holds me to some esteem because I always thought that we got along pretty well.
No, she knows we're both complete pieces of shit.
Okay, well, you ruined it. You ruined it, Kris. Anyway. No, yeah, I mean, you remember how I used to always hide all my stuff in that green camping bag. Whenever we did, like, we'd always take all that. Yes. Yeah, my fucking mom cleaned that out a while back. I told you about that. Yeah, and she told me, I don't remember, like, dude, this was years ago, and I don't remember. I think it was maybe when I was I think it was when I graduated college. I think is when she said it, and I think she said it was like we were all at the bar together where I was working at Flight, and she said she had a little bit to drink, and she said, yeah, I was saving that for your wedding day, but we cleaned out the garage. You know exactly what I'm talking about. And that was like I think that was almost the exact phrasing of, you know exactly what I'm talking about when I said we cleaned out the garage. I was just like, shit. It's like I don't even know. I don't even know what was in there. Like, I mean, from the amount of stupid shit that we did, like it could be any number of things. I could have already
body or two.
they could what'd you say?
Maybe a body or two, you know.
Yeah, maybe a body or two. Yeah. No, dude, I mean they might know basically more than I know at this point, right? It's like, I don't
If I've learned anything, we were first off, like as kids, we were nowhere near as sneaky as we thought we were.
Mm-mm.
We thought we were like secret agents. It's like,
Oh my
we're
God.
like bumbling idiots in public, like, oh, look at me and my secrets. No one will ever find out.
we're just goddamn lucky we didn't get arrested, dude. You know, honestly, you know what the biggest reason that we didn't get arrested? It's because of fucking John Singleton's house and the fact that we stayed at a cop's house.
That's
and he's retired now, so we can say these things, which is amazing. Oh God, I remember John coming up to me the last time, and he said, I can't remember, he was saying something, but I guess his dad had come up to him, and he was just like, I'm retired now. You can do whatever the fuck you want. So it's just something's like, it's done now. It doesn't matter. It's done. Statute of limitations has left the building.
I mean, we weren't that bad at kids, truth be told, but we weren't like little saints.
Well,
I mean,
I guess.
Actually, I don't know.
I guess it's like, morally what you would define as bad, because no, we weren't bad people by any means ever.
We definitely weren't like, okay, the old folks home, time for a drive-by.
Right. No, I mean, we did a lot of stupid shit. I mean,
we were just lucky.
We were reckless. I think that's the best way of putting it, is we were reckless, you know? And I feel like, I don't know, I feel like we're just coming out of that too. Where it's just like, it's just now starting to be like, okay,
the party's almost over. Like,
yeah. And I mean, like, we quit doing a lot of crazy stuff, you know, a while ago in the extent that we did it, but it's still like residing, like starting to, and I don't even know if I'll ever quit. You know, I'm not going to quit being me. I have a fun time.
Yeah. I mean,
you know what
like,
I mean? But
I enjoy having like my fun nights sometimes. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. Dude, I mean, I still drink a pretty goddamn good amount.
Same here.
And I mean, I work at a brewery, so that does not help things. So and I don't want that to change. It's amazing. God, I can only imagine the damage I'd do if I was at a distillery. Oh my God, that would be horrible. Anyway,
great. I don't know, man. Depends.
Oh man, so funny story on that level. So I worked this event, one of the VIP events, a few weeks ago. And I set up for the event. We had to bring in the kegs, and TABC laws state that they had to have their own bartenders, so we didn't have to do shit. So we brought in the kegs. We had everything loaded up. We had it all. We supplied all the alcohol. We didn't have to do shit, and we drank all the alcohol, of course, for free. And so on top of that, it was sponsored by Deep Eddy. And I don't know how we keep getting constantly with Deep Eddy, but like every event we do, Deep Eddy does with us. And so it's like, do you want beer? Do you want liquor? Do you want beer? Do you want liquor? Doesn't matter. It's free. Who the fuck cares? And so it's just like, which one are you going to choose? So, I mean, I knew to start like slow, because I mean, our beers, dude, our amber is 7%. And our IPA is 9%. So, like, and those are our standard beers. Our standard beers are that high, you know, and so...
That's no joke, man. That's no joke.
No, it's not.
Serious.
So I had a few of the ambers, and then I ended with the buckethead. Oh, God, I have to edit that. Anyway. Yeah, I'll figure out how to do that. Anyway, no, I had a few of the ambers, and then I ended with the IPA. And so, once we got all loaded up and everything, man, once we got all loaded up, I got everything done. I had seen the show. I'm drunk. I'm freaking completely drunk, you know, with this, and I'm riding back with the owner in the car, and we're going to like unload everything. Then we get everything done, and then I had left my truck there overnight because Hannah was going to drive home, and so we did. And so I'm like, oh shit, it's Sunday, no one's going to be there, man. Oh my God, that was loud again. Stop texting me. Ow. I went to go get my truck. And I was like, oh shit, it's Sunday. No one's gonna be there. And so I text the owner. I'm like, oh shit, man. I'm like, how am I supposed to get in? I was like, hey man, I left my truck there. Is there any way for me to get in there? Is there anybody gonna be there? Can we get the gates open and stuff? He's like, do you remember last night? I was like, yeah.
That's like the first one between y'all. Like,
yeah, I was like,
Jake, remember last night? Like, oh
God. I was like,
Gotcha.
yes. He goes, you were the one who opened the gate last night. I was like, I don't remember that. And he laughed his ass off. I was like, Mike, how do I get into the gate? Fuck it, the cat's out of the bag. It doesn't matter. I'm not shaming anybody by doing these stories, whatever. It's okay. I work for an awesome brewery. Who the hell cares? The more and more I do this show, the more and more I realize that I just do not care what comes out as long as it doesn't make anybody else look bad. Anyway, whatever, man. It's fun.
Mm-hmm.
Fun time. Yeah, I didn't remember how to open up the gate to our brewery. Yep. Did not. No recollection of it. Yeah, it happens. Yeah.
It happens?
Yeah. Oh, man. That was funny. Who's this? What is she saying?
Beer run.
Cool.
Beer run.
Get a beer run.
Beer run.
While I was getting a beer run, I guess I'll just say to people, I'll do another introduction in a minute, but I'll do in a minute. I'll do an introduction later to this whole episode and everything. But I guess I'm just gonna announce to everybody that I guess more and more is just gonna get revealed about myself because I don't care. I like being honest. I like it being uncut, and I'm just not gonna cut any of this. I already told myself in the beginning I wasn't gonna cut any of this, so it doesn't matter. So yeah, we're gonna just keep going.
Our Chris Marks is a criminal on the run, wanted by the FBI, Interpol, everyone. Watch out.
I mean, I'll just say my name is Jake Peary. I go by Chris Marks. That's it. That's it. I mean, I at this point, I've realized that this show has not become any kind of offensive or anything that would hinder me from getting any kind of career or anything with my family, which I'd originally worried that I was just like, I'm gonna shame my family. I'm gonna bring shame upon my household. You know, what the fuck, man? It doesn't matter.
I've called you Jake like 10 times.
Yeah, it's just.
So if anyone knows you as Chris Marks, we're like, who's Jake?
Jake, Chris Marks, whatever, man. It's cool.
It's my middle name. It's my middle name.
We actually haven't even said haven't said my real name yet, though. We haven't said my real name. Don't you fucking do it. Don't you?
I wasn't going to, but now I have to.
Oh, no.
Billson.
Hey, Chris, can we get a little taste of the impressions? Just a little bit before the next one.
I don't know, man. Like, what? Like, I don't think I have any up my sleeve.
Oh yeah.
I don't really do any, dude.
Yeah.
I don't really. What are you talking about?
Okay. You want to save them for next time? That's fine.
First, I got to figure out what you're talking about. Then I have to practice.
All right. Well, this kid does some.
Next time, when I'm actually physically there, then we can get more wild, dude.
So this guy does some incredible impressions. He makes me almost like fall over to the floor laughing, like go into like a coma. I don't even know how to describe it. It's freaking hilarious. But maybe he'll bless us with some of these impressions next time we do the next interview when he's actually with me. Because right now, again, if you're coming in late to this episode, I don't know why you would be. I don't know why you would be.
Rated right now, PG-13, because I said shit earlier.
Oh man, it's PG-13. Ooh. I don't know why you would be, but again, he's broadcasting from Spring, Texas over here. We're doing it from Skype.
Technology.
It's pretty cool. I mean, I'm actually looking at him right now over via webcam, via my iPad.
I can see you.
It's pretty cool.
Chris Marks, I can see you.
You can see me, Chris Marks. You
on
can
the magic
see
box.
Chris Marks. Well, okay, so what are you drinking now? Are you still drinking the same beer? What are you doing?
What?
You still drinking the same beer? What are you doing?
I've gone through like 3 or 4. I was gonna announce him, but then I thought it would be like I don't know, like an interruption.
No.
Was I supposed to announce when I
No,
changed beer?
you're not supposed to do anything. You can do whatever you want, but why not? Tell us what you've been drinking right now. I mean, because most of the people that I interview on the show, I mean, they're gonna be friends, but people. I mean, some of them are gonna be friends. We're starting out doing friends because I get to call you and be like, hey, you want to get on the show? You want to play? You want to go on the show? So it's fun. But it's going to be a lot of people from the craft beer industry and a lot of people from the music industry because both of those are booming over here. And it's most of the people who I know, that I can easily get in contact with the more and more I do stuff. So why not? Like I said, I want this a little bit like drunk history. This is the most sober I've done this show.
I'm getting there, dude. I didn't think I was tonight. I was going to be a good boy tonight and recover from my weekend, but here I am again, finishing the rest of this. I brought the remnants of this the Sierra Nevada like family pack, if you will. Like the sampler. And I only had a few beers left, really, but I mean they're going quick. I started out with that black IPA earlier, then this golden IPA, and now I'm on something that's really causing some pain here. The extra IPA. I've gone through 2 of those so far, so just getting there, I guess.
Nice.
Getting there.
So funny thing about Sierra Nevada is I had recently found out. So I've been using the time during when I'm kegging, like one of the other brewers with me, he likes to like either use like Audible or use like Stitcher or anything like that, and he'll listen to like books and stuff like while he's doing, so he can like learn more, right? We'll listen to like podcasts about like beer brewing and stuff like that, and you get to learn more while you're doing stuff, which is cool. And so one of the ones he had listened to was the guy who started Sierra Nevada's book, and apparently, like, this actually was pretty common during when they were coming up, but apparently what they did, instead of spending the hundreds of thousands of dollars to start up a brewery, what they did is they took, like, old dairy tanks, and they turned them into fermenters, and they actually just welded them themselves. I was like, that is fucking genius. So they cut down, like, 3/4 of the cost by just just by repurposing this shit, and it was just like, holy shit, man. And you can't do it anymore because everybody else has bought all of them, or they're just not used anymore. But, like, when he started up Sierra Nevada, like, he just fucking welded that shit together, man. It was just like, dude, first off, man card, nice.
Yeah, that's awesome, dude.
Second off, like, goddamn, good job,
Hey, saving all that money, doing it yourself, it must have felt great.
Yeah, dude. I mean, and it's funny, the more and more I sit here, like, finding out more about the craft beer like industry, the more I realize that, man, there are so many damn welders who are in the craft beer industry. I don't know what it is, but like welders like just are all about this. And I guess it's because you're working with those type of those tools all the time, that you're working with things that are made from being welded all the time. So but it's just really interesting.
Yeah, that's cool. Shoot.
Yeah. Dude, I wish you could have been there for that when I did these 2 tours this last weekend, because I'm sitting here like trying to do like my best, like, and I this is my first time doing these tours, and there's a lot that's going into like what all the process is and everything, and on top of that, of course, I've had a few beers. It's just the way it works. We're tasting out certain things enough, and we end the tour with putting the bucket head, through the bright tank and pouring it straight out of the bright tank. So it's the freshest you will ever get it.
Ooh,
yeah, man.
Taste it on the tour, right?
Yeah, you get to taste it on the tour.
I gotta go on this tour, dude.
Oh yeah. Dude, we could do it when you come in. I mean, it's not a problem. We could do it. We could just have you come if you wanted to. You could just come in a little early, and I'll probably have to do like a tour anyway. I don't know. Like I said, we'll have to figure it out with the way that everything is working out with this. But like, if I'm working that day, you could just come in and meet me at the brewery, and then we could go to my place, or you and I could both go to the brewery. Who the hell knows?
I just walk in, and you'll be like, you'll see me, and just be like, oh fuck, like Jake.
Dude, yeah.
I refer to you as Kris, Jake, Mr. Marks. Maybe mix it up like Jake Marks or Kris.
They call me Jimmy there, so we're throwing in a whole new thing.
Jimmy, you're going by Jimmy now.
They call me Jimmy because
that's new.
They call me Jimmy because apparently there was a Jake that worked there before who's a gigantic asshole. So they're just like, we're not
Fresh,
calling
like,
you
to
Jake.
start.
Yeah, they're
You're
like, it's a
Jimmy.
fresh start. We're not calling you Jake. We like you too much to be called Jake. I was like, okay, I'll take that as a compliment, whatever, you know?
Yeah, right,
So
right.
it's fucking funny, man. Yeah. Oh, some good coffee. Hold on.
That's a good nickname. That's one like you don't hear enough nowadays.
No,
Jimmy.
you really don't. You
It's
don't
like one of
really
those
ever
names you
like
don't
hear
hear.
Jimmy nowadays. Like that's like it's
You
a
gotta have Jimmy, dude.
Jimmy. Hey, Jimmy.
Yeah, exactly. Hey,
Jimmy.
come here, let me buy you a beer.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Well, cool. You got some more stuff you want to talk about, or what? How you feel about this? You feel like it was a good episode? What do you think?
I like it, man. I like it. I wish I could have, could be like a little bit more boisterous and vulgar. Perhaps next time will be the right environment for it. But it's cool, man. I like your show. I like it. I dig it.
Awesome. Well, I'm glad you had a good time. I'm about to go and probably fill up some more whiskey. I'm gonna do some edits on this, and just shoot me a text, dude, and we're gonna figure this out on 2 weekends from now. See if you can get it off, and we'll do another show coming up, man. Yeah.
All right. That'll be the sequel.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
well, the first movie was like kind of PG, it's family friendly, but then it just went dark.
Yeah, we're gonna do this as a 2-part. This is part 1. We're gonna do part 2 on the next one. Well, I want to thank you, Kris. Thanks for being on the show, man. Thank you for. I know it was late notice. It was this was awesome. This is a great episode. This is episode 3. You are on episode 3 ever of the Kris Mark Show, which is pretty freaking sweet. And you will be the first 2-part episode ever. So be excited about that.
I'm excited. Can't wait.
This was Useless Threats with Kris Mark. This is my guest, Kris Grahn over here, a friend of mine. You will be hearing a lot, I am sure, from him throughout the show, and as well as his music will just go and make your ears like scream with joy whenever you hear it. Every time he plays, it's just amazing. So thanks again, Kris. We're going to go ahead and end this show here, and I will talk to you soon, bud.
All right, man. See you soon.
See you, man. Always great talking to you, man. Talk to you.
Looking forward to it, Jake. Take care.
You too.